because cavities were skyrocketing. But what really were causing the cavities, I would argue, it was our food, our ultra-processed food, our sugary foods, our milled flours, refined flours, and how we're breathing. So it really was a Band-Aid approach. But now more and more data has come out showing that it has some neurotoxicity effects. And it really is, fluoride's really defined as a neurotoxin. And so this is really controversial and people get really heated up about it. But I do think to do no harm, we need to be looking at the data. And so there's now over 70 studies that are showing that by intaking too much fluoride in pregnancy and in infancy and early childhood, it can impact the IQ of children and their neurodevelopment. And it can affect, particularly boys, up to 5 IQ points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually on par with lead. And again, this is water fluoridation. So we also know through the research, fluoride really works topically, not systemically. And I will say, only 3% of Europe currently fluoridates their water. So 97% of European countries do not. Many of them have removed it from their water long ago for various reasons. One, the neurotoxicity concerns, but also the medical ethical concerns. We really are mass medicating people without their consent. And so I do realize the public health concern, but I would argue those who are talking about removing fluoride from the water, they're coming from a good place too, speaking of the public health concern about brain development in children. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a report that was released that had been withheld from the Health and Human Services Department. And it was a toxicology report from the National Toxicology Program, I think it's the NTP. And basically it showed, they did a meta-analysis over the past 6 years of research, and I believe it was 52 of 55 studies were showing a positive correlation between IQ and neurodevelopmental issues with water fluoridation or too much intake of fluoride in pregnancy. And they were really high quality studies. And so at the very least, I just think we should be taking a pause and having professional and calm conversations for the betterment of human population. Because at the end of the day, fluoride really is a Band-Aid. And the root cause of cavities is what we're eating and how we're breathing. It's not lack of fluoride. Fluoride's not an essential nutrient. No one's fluoride deficient. And also fluoride works topically. So if people want to use fluoride, I suggest just using it in toothpaste, just getting the varnish done at the dentist. But even better than that is something called hydroxyapatite, which is something I'm a big fan of. It is what is in our enamel. It's basically a calcium phosphorus crystalline structure that makes up our enamel and our bone. And so it's biomimetic. We have no fluoride normally in our bodies. And so that is what I suggest for patients right now, because there is no poison control label on it. It's safe to swallow. It's safe to use in children.
DoctorsToTrust.com. Please share this video with loved ones.